first game of this best of 5 series. Let's go ahead and get this started. Spawning at the bottom left, we got our red Protoss playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Put your hands together for Zest.
Alright, at the 5 o'clock position, the bottom right corner is the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, is Byun. Now, in BO5s, it's real like the Terran can really dictate the map veto system, because 99.99999% of the time the Protoss has to veto Beckett, meaning Blackburn will always survive in a BO5 in PvP. And a lot of the Protosses agree that Blackburn is a very arduous map to actually play PvP on, because there are a lot of positions that the Terran can really take advantage of. Like, for instance, the deceleration zone here, where Zest has the anti-Reaper gateway and core built, and also the below the ramp there are multiple locations where the Terrans can really set up siege tanks / widow mines when they're doing the frontal push as well. So it's a really difficult map for Protoss to really, you know, maneuver and get things going. And of course, if the Protoss can survive the initial onslaught and stabilize and somehow can take 4 bases, then it becomes a different dynamic. But in general, like the early to mid phase, Terran can have all the tempo and the map control that they want. And Byun, once again, going for that tempo play. He's getting the 3 Rex. And Zest going for that Stargate as well. So already, in terms of the build order, I think Byun is on top of the game right now.
Yeah, of course, with the 3 barracks, that allow him to make more Marines, more anti-air for those oracles, potential oracles. But yeah, when you open up with a Stargate as a Protoss like that, it tends to mean that you're weaker, a little bit weaker on the ground. So if Byun goes for a stem timing, it could be quite difficult if Zest decides to go for a normal timing dirt. If he does delay the dirt, I mean, if he does, you know, kind of get aware of what's happening and delays the dirt, then it will allow him to, of course, defend a bit better. You know, place those shield batteries at the natural and help defend.
And he's also getting Void Rays. It's not even Oracle, so.
Oh wow.
Let's see how he's gonna utilize these Void Rays, but I don't know.
This is quite interesting.
Because usually you want to use the initial Oracle to spot whether it's 3 racks or not from the Terran, and if you spot the 3 racks, then you can make additional Oracle to utilize the stasis words at in front of the Terran space, so you can delay the timings. Like if the Protoss uses the stasis word like in vicinity of his base, then his or her base, then most likely the Terran's gonna, you know, kind of figure it out and just try to, you know, activate those stasis words with a single Marine. But if you place them like in vicinity of the Terran space, then they're not gonna like make such maneuvers when they're moving out. So it can really buy the Protoss some good time. But I don't know what these 2 Void Rays gonna accomplish besides picking off an SCV here and there. And I don't know how he's going to defend his 3rd Nexus when Byun actually moved out with this kind of unit composition.
Oh my gosh, Stim just finished. Oh man, these Void Rays gotta be careful. Oh man, Byun could have stood on top of them, and that would have probably been, you know, game-ending, potentially game-ending damage, because right now Void Rays are like one of the only few units he has to defend against this.
Alright, so Byun moving out. He has 29 Marines. Against 3 sentries, 2 adepts, and 4 Void Rays. I don't know about this, Snoopy.
Well, I mean, Byun did attack with only a handful of his Marines, so that kind of takes them out of the fight a little bit. But I mean, he could very well just send this group, a patch of Marines, towards the natural while stemming with his the top side group into the third and do a little bit of a double prong attack, and that could potentially, you know, kind of break Zest, but he does have a great like shield battery positioning here that allows him to kind of somewhat defend the natural and the dirt at the same time.
All right, let's see what this flank can get done for Byun. Cannon's gonna finish up. Oh, yep. That one cannon can be really a menace, but Byun just like stimming in, YOLOing. 6 pros, 7 pros down. He would really love to pick off those sentries, but great force field. Yeah, at the same time, his third base is completely safe. So 10 probes down. I say that's a stellar defense coming up from Zest.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that as well. I mean, that could have gone way worse than I would have thought. And you know, keep in mind, Byun does not have a third base. So Zest, being that he's on 3 bases, and yeah, he lost 10 pros, but he's still decently ahead in the worker count. And now it's up to Byun to try to go for a kind of almost like a YOLO attack, because if he does not get any damage done within the next couple of minutes, this game could get quite out of hand, because Zest is going to reap the benefits of that economic advantage and just out macro Byun.
Here comes the YOLO drop, but Void Rays out of position. If they were like within the deceleration zone, like those medevats would have been just like murdered.
Yeah.
But instead, the core goes down. Yep, and Byun safely escaping with essentially most of his combat units right there. Zest would be kicking himself right there. We're like, if I had only positioned my Void Rays a little bit downward, like this game would have been already over. But instead, the game goes on, and yeah, now the economic advantage coming out from the Protoss really starting to kick in. And you know, it could be 2020 hindsight, but if Byun really capitalized at the initial timing instead of like kind of poking with those like 10 to 12 Marines, he had all of his forces and just like flanked on top of Zest's army, I think he could have just like crushed it when Zest only had like two adepts, like 4 sentries and 3 Void Rays. Like that was it. So yeah, and 30 plus Marines has like an insane amount of DPS.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, especially against what Zest had in terms of those Void Rays. Void Rays don't really do too much, not quite as effective against those Marines. So yeah, I think if he grouped up his Marines at the beginning attack, I think he would have won already. But now he has find himself in a little bit of a hole, and oh, nice actually target fire.
Yep. And look at the army supply, Snoopy. Byun's just gonna pounce on this. I don't see Zest holding this at all. He invested too much on the tech and transition to disruptors. So Byun just spotting the right timing. Oh, great target fire once again on the disruptor.
Oh my goodness.
And the third one land? Nope. The answer is no. Like not on my watch. And GG. Byun again taking another victory, utilizing the micromanagement of his combat units. And Byun is a player, like once he gains momentum, he can be essentially unstoppable. It's just a matter of how he can retain that momentum and how long he can maintain that. Because once he loses the momentum, then he kind of starts to stifle and stumble. But once he's on that momentum, no, he's riding it big time. So I'm interested to see what kind of maneuvers he's going to bring. And I think he's going to go 3 racks again, because he immediately started reactor onto his initial racks. Usually that kind of insinuates Terrans going 3 racks instead of a 1-1-1.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that second and third racks. That should be coming down relatively soon. But looks like Zest is going to go ahead and actually proxy here. I thought he was just scouting, but indeed he is kind of pulling out some cheeky play.
Well, the second pylon never started on top of Zest's natural ramp, so it was kind of foreshadowing that he was going to do a proxy of some sort. Now it's just going to be a matter of, is he going to proxy Stargate or Robo? Looks like Stargate, yep. Because he had 150 in the bank. Alright, so once again, 3 racks against Stargate. But now this time it's proxy Stargate, so the Oracle timing could be much faster. So if he can inflict some damage to Byun with the initial Oracle, or maybe multiple Oracles, then he can, you know, withstand against that 3 racks onslaught. But if the Oracle does nothing, then maybe Byun just can grasp another quick victory here and go up 2-0.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Currently, Byun has no idea that this is happening. Let's take a look at this vision. As you can see, no scouting of that Stargate. And there we go. The first Oracle does get popped up in the production here. Gets chrono. And we'll see if these Marines are in the right position to defend against this Oracle. So far, they're kind of heading... Oh, actually, he does start rallying to his main base. So it looks like he will at least have some Marines there to defend.
Yeah, and I think he can get some kind of read off too, because there was no adept at the frontier trying to, you know, scout him, and also he just witnessed two stalkers hanging around, so he knows what's up. And yep, there goes 1 SCV, and that's it. Okay, so Zest immediately transitioning to Twilight Council. So it's just going to be a matter of can Zest hold off that initial onslaught coming out from Byun or not, and how he's going to utilize the Oracle. Is he going to use it defensively using the Stasis Ward, or is he going to use it as a means of backstab? So that will be another focal point as well.
Yeah, there's some options for him. I mean, he could use the Stasis Ward for defensive purposes, or he can go for the Pulsar Beam on those reinforcements as a way to kind of decrease the amount of Marines.
Right. And actually, Zest trying to be as aggressive as possible because he has a proxy gate as well. So the warp speed of those stalkers would be much quicker than the normal warp speed without the warp gates. So it's trying to be pincer in Byun, so that Byun can't move freely out on the map and do whatever the hell he wants. And while doing so, his third Nexus is almost done.
Yeah, I love that decision there, because yeah, he could at any point he could have just like stayed back and just relied on his Oracles to kind of scout his opponent and just like have his Stalker back at home. But yeah, keeping the opponent on his side of the base while he waits for a blink to finish, as well as that third. And here we go. Looks like that's going to go ahead and dive in here, takes out the bunker, and with some nice blink micro will save all his Stalkers.
Yep, and on top of that, so a very minuscule victory, but he also took down a single Marine too. So 2 more goes down. No loss of Stalkers yet thus far. That's on top of his blinker micro for sure. And while doing so, he already has 3 sentries, and they're all saving up energies. Now he's getting additional gateways immediately to transition into those charge slots as well.
Yeah, that's going to be
just a matter of. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just a matter of, is he going to transition into Templars, or is he going to go Colossus? But I don't see any Robo facility at this point, so because he needs some kind of AOE damage at one point. So
yeah.
But now instead he's starting a Robo facility quite later than usual. Yeah, charge loss and blinkers are great, but the efficiency of gateway units versus Terran's Rex units, like the Terran counterpart has a much higher efficiency with that stim and medevacs, so that's got to be really careful. Like even in the previous game, he set up everything perfectly to gain as much advantage as possible, and then he crumbled with the one single attack. This may be the same theme once again.
Yeah, it's very much possible, especially since his army is mainly consistent of Blink Stalkers, which is not the greatest against that many Marine and Marauders. And even some Widow Mines kind of sprinkled in as well. And ooh, just barely getting that Orko. We'll go ahead and get recharged or re-shield it here with the shield battery. And here we go. Byun gonna stem in. Yeah, as you can see, Blink Stalkers
dropping like flies.
Okay, more charge lot reinforcements. So maybe he can use this to hold, and it's going to be close.
He's going to preserve all the Stalkers so he can take these medevacs down. All right, Zest somehow held there.
Yeah, but it's not over yet. Byun still has a significant army supply lead.
Ouch. Those mine shots, they're so devastating against charge lots. Like, Zest cannot afford to lose any sort of combat units at this point. He's got to be really meticulous with the preservation of his combat units. Now, I mean, the Robo Bay is being constructed, but he needs more time to get those Colossus / Disruptors out to be really stabilized. But meanwhile, Byun transforming his 3rd CC into the Orbital, trying to get that additional upgrades going. And it was really, like, the timing was perfect for Zest to get that +1 attack, and he was able to fend that initial attack off. I think if he didn't get any upgrades, then I think the Terran army would have just like crushed it with ease. Once again, Byun being smart with his Widow Mines, spotted where the Stalkers are located exactly and tried to make a move once again.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a random Widow Mine there, which is pretty nice sometimes.
Well, I mean, Zest also spotted Byun's army with the Observer. Now he's trying to send a run-by with the 5 Zealots, but can he hold the frontier? That's the biggest question. There are 4 mines that are still that still have the charges available. Actually, more. There are 6 now.
Oh my
at the back. So, ooh, brutal shots. You gotta preserve the Colossus. Both Colossus went down. I think this is game.
Yeah, Byun just bulldozing Zest here. Man, those 2 Colossus were really important and crucial for his defense here, but being that they were just sniped down by the Widow Mines and the Bio units, there's just nothing here to defend.
Yeah, I mean, even though the game doesn't end here, like, the Protoss' unit composition has taken a significant amount of damage. Like, once Byun reinforces and continues to pounce on, and doesn't allow the Protoss to have enough time to get that ideal unit composition that he desires to, then, you know, this is Terran's game right now. So Zest really needs to be careful with his maintenance of his units, especially those Colossus, because he has he's getting his +3 upgrade right now for the weapon, so he just needs that like 3 minutes from here to really crush these infantries coming up from the Terran using those Colossus. But he's taking the EMP. Where's the shield battery? And there's no shield battery. You know what? This is game. Great play coming out from Byun.
Yeah,
and this is what I was talking about. The great awareness coming out from Byun. He knew exactly, like, the Protoss is never going to establish the composition that he desires to on time. So all I have to do is just not be boneheaded. I'm not gonna throw units like meaninglessly. I'm just gonna keep reinforcing, and then once I have the quote-unquote death ball to really take down the Protoss' infantry, then, you know, it is my game to lose. And, you know, he successfully grasped it. All right, so a very typical build coming out from both parties. See, the thing is that recently, when I've talked with the Korean Protoss players, like, a lot of them are very negative about the use of blinkers in this matchup these days, because the Terrans are very proficient at stopping, whether you're playing aggressive blink stalkers, they know very well how to put an end to that. And also, if you're just trying to play like the conventional like 2-gate blinker plus fast triple nexus macro-oriented plays, they know how to punish those too these days. And usually in PvT, unless the Protoss is going complete like bonkers to full aggression, like the Terran usually controls the early tempo of the early phase of the game. So I think that's why Zest kind of like moved away from starting Twilight first, and instead try to go Stargate oriented first. But thus far, didn't really pay off.
I actually feel like Zest is one of those Protoss players that still heavily relies on Twilight Council, like compared to someone like maybe Trap. And I think it really depends sometimes, because like, you know, Twilight Council, I feel like is still viable in terms of the the blink opening. I mean, there's a reason like Zest was able to reach, you know, the GSL finals, is because he's really good at blink stalker micro. And you know, I think sometimes it's like a kind of a hit and miss sometimes. Like I still feel like it still works, but then of course Terran players has been playing a lot against it over the years, that they do have a nice solid idea of how to play against it. So yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't, and I think it just really comes down to the micro and the players that microing those stalkers.
Also, another reason why he's been flourishing with those blink stalker openings is because if you look back, it was like 2 years ago when like the 2-gate triple nexus blink stalker build was really prevalent and was very promising in PvT matchup, and it all started from Zest. So he knows how to utilize those blink stalkers and blink stalker oriented build as much as possible. And even here again, he's going for that the 2-gate triple nexus blinker build that I was talking about. This is his bread and butter. But at the same time, if a guy like Zest is trying to move away from using blink stalkers as much as possible, then there has to be a reason for it. And then the general consensus right now amongst the Korean professional Protoss players is that especially the Korean Terrans, they're just too good at you know, fending off or punishing those blink builds, whether you're being aggressive or you're being macro oriented. So
yeah.
But you know, he's down 0-2, so he's pulling out the most comfortable and the most quote unquote familiar build. The 2-gate Nexus Blinker. And then he'll probably go into Colossus afterwards. Getting a Rubber Bay right now. It'll be interesting whether he's going to go Colossus or actually straight into Disruptors.
I think after that, the Blackburn
Ouch.
game. Yeah, after that.
I mean, offside game, he used Colossus, and the Colossus got wrecked too.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. That's true.
So what's the next alternative then? You know, I don't know. I mean, I'll say Colossus, but
yep, looks like it's Colossus as
there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I got one thing right. All right, and then he's ramping up his infrastructure, building additional 4 gates, so that makes to 6 gateways. Getting the extended thermal lance upgrade as well. Now Byun has a huge army, has 53 army supply. Now how much he's gonna accomplish with this will be the key point. Oh, big mistake coming out from Byun, throwing out 100 minutes right there, by canceling the CC at his third. Ouch.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying sometimes. You just misplace your building.
Yeah, but you can always lift it up and down. I think that was just a pure mistake. I think he wanted to do ESC something, and then he ended up ESCing the command center. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Well, anyhow, looks like the battle is about.
That's gotta be careful. He's gotta be on point with that force field.
Ah, beautiful.
Force fields thus far. right? Nice pickup to preserve some of the Marauders there, but oh yeah, great force fields coming out from this.
Yeah, he has bought himself enough time for that second Colossus, as well as his remaining gateways to warp in here. So additional army warp ins. He does have a shield battery here at the third, which is pretty sweet as well. That should help out in this defense. And here we go. Actually, Byun going to go ahead and circumvent the whole army. Go for that drop.
Well, this is where Colossus comes in handy. And the blinkers as well. At least it can freely move up and down between the low ground and the high ground. So.
Yeah, that's really, really helpful. Oh my
God. Zest right now
on top of it.
Okay, gets one. That's a freebie I'll take any day. Just great observer positioning right there. He was able to detect Byun's army beforehand, so he was able to, you know, make that aggressive move. But if he had no vision, there's no way he's forward blinking with his stalkers there, trying to catch that medevac. That would be a suicidal move.
Yeah. And now Zest gonna go ahead and throw down that Dark Shrine, as we all know how annoying Blink DPs can be for the Terran player in the mid to late game. And Zest gonna go ahead and take full advantage of that, as he's probably gonna research the Blink upgrade after this, after the Dark Shrine is done, while he relies on his Colossus Ball to defend whatever push Byun throws his way.
Alright, so Byun successfully snipes the observer out on the right side. If Zest can re-establish vision control on the right side, then he has all the potential attacking routes covered. But at the same time, Byun having another great awareness play here as well. Not some just random Widowmine plate spin. He knows exactly how the Protoss is going to do the run by, and also he can control the vision at that side as well. So it's great awareness coming out from both players thus far, regardless of the score of this series. Byun now finishing up that Ghost Academy. Although it's interesting because Zest went the Colossus tech, but Byun is still continuously producing Widowmine, so that's an interesting thing. But besides that, everything looks quote unquote standard. But here comes the Doom drop, and Zest wasn't able to reestablish any sort of vision on the right side, but no, this is great timing right there, taking down one medevac for free once again. If the response timing was late, then Protoss would have taken a significant amount of damage. Great play coming out from great response coming out from Zest. Now it's making two observers concurrently to re-establish the vision, because he knows he's in a complete dark right now, except for that bottom left side.
Yeah, just expanding his vision to the outskirts of his base, making sure he doesn't really die to these drops, because that's really the main thing that can kind of really deter Zest right now. His defense though, oh my god, all these shield batteries and cannons and having his army split up though, it's going to be really hard for Byun to find any damage with these drops.
And guess what? There are 4 Stargates thrown down right now.
What?
And Byun just scanned it.
Oh
so
my goodness.
If he clicked onto that, then he would know. He would know what's up right now. He's really got to start cranking up that Viking plus Liberator counts from now on.
Alright, what are these? Okay, looks like it'll be carriers. I was wondering, like, would it be Tempest or... But yeah, it looks like it will be carriers indeed.
I mean, Tempest, you can play the game of, like, you know, if you want to play like perennial fights, then you can use Tempest, but Tempests are very inefficient against Terran's army when you're going head to head on the frontier. Like, they'll get annihilated like very quickly, so that's why he's going for carriers instead. We'll see what kind of response Byun pulls out. Right now he's getting the Fusion Core, probably for that Liberator range upgrade. And right now he has no upgrades for his air units. Just getting another armory now, but alright. One disruptor goes down. That's a small victory. Oh, and that sad one marauder got stuck between the ramp and the end of the ramp and the force field and get blasted by the purification nova.
Unfortunately, in war, brother does get left behind from time to time.
Yep. Left behind, falls behind. But right now, oh, this is such an inefficient trade. Like, I can't even call this a trade. It's just, this is just basically a suicidal move coming out from Byun right here. Oh, those carriers just like massacred the Terran infantry along with the Colossus, the 3 Colossus that's been preserved from the early phase of the game right now. The 6 ghosts with a handful of Vikings and Liberators. I think Zest can really just go ham with this.
Yeah, there's really not a lot in terms of the anti-air.
Yeah, and also Zest is controlling that middle ground where the Terran reinforcements can come through. So if he doesn't like lose everything here, then he's in a commanding spot right now. And he also has the Zest bank, you know, and he's getting all the necessary upgrades. So yeah, he's in a commanding position. All right, more stalker reinforcement coming in to gun down those Vikings plus Liberators. All right, here we go.
A great EMP on those Protoss army, but is it going to be enough? It doesn't quite look like it's going to be enough. Those Vikings not quite focus firing on the carriers as well, as there's so many interceptors. These interceptors are on +2 weapons attack, so they are quite dangerous. And Zest gonna just run straight into the natural. Gonna do some additional warpings for good measure. But yeah, that is it. Zest gonna go ahead and put his first point on the scoreboard as he wins game number 3.
Standard opening once again. Gateway, core, nexus, second pylon at the in front of the natural, and then ooh. Okay. GC on the high ground.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, he's trying to play a mind game here. Hey, I'm going factory first. By not revealing the second CC. Because then Zest, if he had a certain game plan in his mind, he probably has to alternate courses once he sees such a move coming out from Byun. Huh? Now it's just only the matter of whether Zest's gonna bite that gate.
Yeah, I don't think he's biting too hard, as he's throwing down a proxy pylon out in the map, so it looks like he might want to go ahead and put on some 3-gate pressure of some sort, maybe?
Yeah, it could be a 3-gate, it could be a robo. Yep, there's the additional gateway.
Yeah, he's chrono boosting that cybernetic core, so yeah, he is going for some aggression, and I like it because you know you're in the dark in terms of not scouting the CC in the low ground, so you might as well just go aggressive and just like put on the pressure instead of like try to sit back as a sitting duck.
Yeah, and the only downside would be if the Widow Mines were to you know, shoot at whether it's Zest infantry or whether it's sent to his base with using a medevac, and then all of his probes get statsed, then you know that's a terrible story. But besides that, I think he should be fine. Although it's kind of interesting, he's actually pulling back all his units back towards his natural, despite having that property gateway going. Yeah, and I think once he spotted the Widow Mines, he knows that he can't afford to go, you know, just full ham aggression against Byun, and that's why he's getting the robo. Probably going to start observing immediately. There we go. Yep. So he's trying to, you know, fend off the initial mine drop, and then he'll probably transition into a more aggressive maneuver, or maybe just, you know, having that proxy gate there just for now and then not be aggressive at all. All right, can this one Widow Mine make a jackpot? Oh. Okay. No jackpot.
Yeah, well defended there once again by Zest. So he's pretty much on top of it. And I would expect that he will probably throw down his third base or this third nexus relatively soon. But actually, as I say that, he is going for a Colossus, it seems like. He's getting his third and fourth gas. So yeah, he's going to delay his dirt a little bit in order to be a bit more safer and get that Colossus tech up and running.
I mean, considering he has a proxy gate, this could even be a fake third. Like, he may not produce additional probes like after 50, and then he just try to crank out like 2 to 3 Colossus, like 2 Colossus plus Warp Prism timing, and then just use the Warp Prism the Arcane micro to preserve the Colossus, and then just pounce on the Terran army when the Terran moves out. That could be an option as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it looks like the first Colossus is going to go ahead and get started. We'll see if he does go for a fake third of some sort, or whether he is going to actually mine off of that third. But in this meantime, looks like Byun is going to go ahead and start. Wait, did he see the... Oh, okay. He did not see it. Okay, there he finally sees the proxy gateway there.
Yep.
Oh, actually he does warp in. Kind of a careless choice.
Well, maybe he thought like the medevac wasn't filled with everything, but that's a bad read. I think that's a bad call. I think coming out from Zest.
Yeah, he probably thought it was like a Widow Mine dropped instead, but.
All right, yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's not going to get aggressive anytime soon, and also he hasn't halted production, so he's just gonna go for that more macro-oriented play, especially when his proxy gate has been negated. Makes complete sense. Now the question is, he only has 1 shield battery at his third. Does he have enough units to defend both his main and his third is the question, and I think the answer is no.
He's adding more shield.
He needs to pick off that tank, and then he picks off. All right, he picks off 1 tank. Oh, there goes the interference matrices, but the Raven goes down as well. Can he take down the Colossus? 1 is down. 1 is essentially an idiot thanks to the interference matrix. A great response coming out from Zest at the main too, taking as small of a damage as possible. 3 probes going down. Yeah, it's a bummer that he lost the Colossus, but at least he didn't lose both, like the game in offside. And that's because he was able to take down one of the 2 tanks at the start. So, you know,
yeah, that was huge.
Both tanks were able to, set up and get the volleys off. I don't know if Protoss would have survived that. People may be like, come on, it's only 1 tank. Like, that doesn't make a whole difference. Oh yeah, at this stage of the game, it makes the world difference.
Yeah, 100%. It just really cuts the steam off of the push if you can kind of pick off the tank from the start.
And Zest has to hold off though, because like his infrastructure has not been properly established right now. He's getting more gateways right now. He has 6 so far. He's getting up to 10. So he's gonna get aggressive soon too, because instead of getting 8 gates followed by the 4th base, he's going up to 10 gates and then double robo here. So he pushed back his 4th base timing because of the relentless aggression coming out from Byun, and instead he translated that economy into utilizing 10 gateways. Oh, is this Widow Mine gonna hit the jackpot? Jesus. Okay, 5 is not a jackpot, but Alright. Great response coming out from Zest at the natural. Only 1 probe gunned down by the mines. Now the one thing going well for Zest is the upgrades. Like usually the Terran should be like in favor in terms of the upgrades against Protoss in general. Up to a certain point of time, but right now you can see he already has +2 weapon attack versus +1 of Byun. So, and those +2 weapon attack coming out, dishing out by Colossus. Oh, that's gonna be brutal. And he's getting +3 immediately. And also he already researched starting to research the air weapon as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, looks like he is going to start to transition into air, which is quite curious because I feel like
off of 3 base plus 6 gases. Oh
yeah,
I don't know.
I was also thinking the same thing. Like you probably should get a 4 base right now if you want to go ahead and get that many high-tech army.
All right, he's dropped 2 Stargates thus far. Looks like that probe is about to drop another Stargate. Looks like. Yeah, I mean, Zest's vision is very limited right now. Like, he has no vision control on the left side.
Yeah, this is... I'm a little confused because Zest did, like, start cutting off probe production. Like, right now he doesn't even have, like, fully... 3 base fully saturated. Like, he's on 63...
No, he does, because the number of probes needed to mine the main has decreased. But right. He's actually he's actually oversaturated at the 3rd. So
yeah, but he was cutting off pros, but usually it means that you want to go for a big attack, especially with all those gateways being thrown down. But he just kind of sat back and like started going into this air tech with a Stargate and Fleet Beacon. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to plan for, but yeah, he's not in the best position right now as Byun is starting to kind of take control of the map and this game.
I think he's made the read that, you know, Byun is very aggressive, so oftentimes he will fall behind in terms of the high-tech production, meaning like getting the Liberators / Vikings and such. So that's why he's trying to, you know, take advantage of that to transition into carriers a bit faster, but this time Byun spots it immediately with that triple medevac drop, and at the same time, oh, these disruptors! Okay, at least the disruptors take down that side of the infantry, but 2 additional disruptors have fallen.
Oh boy!
And Byun just pouncing left and right.
He's gotta get out with these medevacs. These carriers are out. Oh no. Oh boy.
Yeah, but Byun has 4 bases against 3 of Zest. Like, if Terran is ahead of bases against Protoss, that's brutal for the Protoss. And also, Byun has additional orbitals ready to, you know, drop the mules, you know, get that mineral income going like insanely. All he has to do is just, you know, stop this one attack coming out from Zest that are composed of the Colossus and 3 carriers. Because Zest doesn't have money to build additional carriers. So those 3, that's it. That's the end of it. Well, I think Byun can buy more than enough time to get that Viking count as well as the Ghost count to really shut down the carriers plus Colossus.
I don't know, man. This is a lot of Colossus and carriers, and he's pushing through. Oh my goodness! I think he lost so much army in those 3 medevacs, or those couple of medevacs, and I think that is going to go ahead and bite him in the behind here. As Zest is going to go ahead and extend his army supply to 130 to 76.
I don't know why he took the fight there. Like, he could have been more patient and just, you know, built up as many combat units as possible, but you really played into Zest's hands. Like, Zest wanted to fight for sure. Yeah. And Byun was like, "Oh, you want to fight? I'll take the fight." Well, you shouldn't have, Byun.
Yeah.
This is not the medieval ages, you know, Lancelot dueling each other, you know. Yeah, I mean, the economic lead that Byun had, gone. Army lead, gone. worker lead gone, like everything just dissipated that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Zest, I guess that was the right call. He knew that he probably couldn't break Byun earlier on. Gonna go ahead and go straight into what would be a very, very hard Protoss ball to break and to beat 1-on-1. And once he had enough Colossus, once he had enough carriers, he went for the fight. Byun took the bait. He could have sat back and kind of bought himself some time for extra reinforcements, but instead he took the fight. And now Zest, he's the one looking to send this series to a 5th and decisive game. But of course,
and the streak goes on. Snoopy.
Oh yeah, the streak of 5 games. Oh boy.
Ay. I don't see how Byun can come back from this. The carrier count has grown too much.
Yeah, and he's getting more disruptors, which means that those army of Byun can't really get underneath those carriers, right? Or else you get blown up by those purification novas. And
also, once again, they have +2 attacks, so those interceptors can wreak havoc.
Yep. +2 interceptors, they're no joke.
Yeah, he's researching +3 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he is. And it's like 2/3 done. Close to 3/4, so.
Yeah, and if
that +3 is done, imagine what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and if all case fails, he still has that ace card and those DTs that he's about to get.
Yeah, but more time would be needed for the Shadow Strikes to really kick in. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's a thing to lean back on, I think those DTs, especially since Byun is on limited amount of orbitals, and so he's not going to have as much scan energy. He's probably going to use as much mules as much energy on those mules because he's quite a little bit behind in the economy, as he's behind on bases as well as workers. So yeah,
because he had 5 and then he lost 2 of them. So yeah, he's really limited in terms of the number of scans.
But to be fair, to be honest, I don't think DTs will even come into play here at the end, because that army of Zest is just so scary.
Yeah, I'm not sure if 14 Vikings plus 7 Ghosts can really cut it. And especially the 7 Disruptors, they're going to be problematic too now. Because when you have carriers on top of the Disruptors, it's really hard to actually target fire them, because the rate where your army dissipates will be very rapid. And here you go. The Vikings just not dishing out enough damage, and the blinkers going forward to take down the Viking count, and the Viking count has drastically decreased to 5. I think Zest has this in the bag.
Yeah, looks like he's going for one more additional warping as well. Even adding DTs. Oh, actually some nice snipes on those disruptors. Not a bad start.
Yeah, but those carrots are just crushing it. No, they have +3 weapons upgrade.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
All right,
GG.
Game 5, here we come.
Yeah. And there, for those of you who started watching StarCraft 2 at a later stages, there's a small history for you. Byun's initial ID that he used in GSO was excrement.
Man, I imagine like a pro player actually named himself Poop, and like the caster has to introduce them.
Well, the reason why he used Byun is because his last name is Byun, you know, because his actual name is Byun Hyunwoo, so his surname is Byun, so that's why he named it Byun. But at the same time, if you look up the Korean dictionary, it also means, you know, poop. So
yeah.
I feel bad for people who have like names/surnames that have like multiple meanings, and some of them could be like used in a in a negative way. You know, someone can try to take advantage of it or make fun of it.
Yeah, like bullies in school.
Well, I don't think Byun would have gotten bullied in school though, because he would probably kicked all of their what's in StarCraft or StarCraft 2 or whatever game he played before becoming a StarCraft 2 pro gamer. But I think Brood War, because he initially debuted as a Brood War player.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing for a long time.
Yeah, so he would probably beat the brakes off of those schoolmates in Brood War. So I don't think people would have been bullying him that bad back in the days.
Well,
all right, so this time it looks like Widowmine drop.
Yeah,
another
Twilight Cancel as well. Once again.
And it looks like it's going to be a 2-gate triple once again. Because if you're going 4-gate blinkers, usually you get the Robo. And then you build the 3 gates afterwards. But looks like it's going to be 2-gate triple blinkers, in my opinion.
Yep, looks like only sticking with the 2. So yeah, this is probably just going to be an economic kind of blink opening, while Byun gonna go ahead and start flying over with his Widowmine. Now, of course, throughout this whole series, Zest has been pretty great in defending against these Widowmines relatively well. So I expect that Zest should be on top of it, as he has in the past couple of games.
And also, I'm not sure if you guys realize, but the biggest reason why he was able to defend such drops in the early phase easily, only with 2 gates, is that he spends a chrono boost onto the workgate research. So he's trying to expedite the workgate timing as much as possible, so that he has enough number of stalkers to shut this or deflect the drop coming out from the Terran counterpart. So for those of you who are playing Protoss, you should maybe take note of that if you're suffering from these Widowmine drops or such. Make sure you invest 1 chrono boost to the workgate.
Yeah,
Here comes the drop, and Zest being aggressive. Oh, just on time. And meanwhile, at the Terran's natural, the 5 stalkers trying to do some damage done, but there's the bunker there. Not really. Or three probes went down. I say that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Although, starting off 2-gate blinker, but because the map itself is light shade, it's really hard to take that fast third. Like normally, if you're going 2-gate triple, the third nexus should be down between like 350 and 410 latest. But right now it's already 530, and he's not even starting it yet.
Yeah, I think it's fine because he actually went for the Colossus tech, so that does by default does delay your third. So I think he should be fine.
Yeah, so basically his game plan is, I'm not going to die to Byun's early aggression. I'm not going to get greedy, go for that conventional 350 to 4 minute third nexus timing. I'm just gonna get 4 gases first, get that Colossus up, and then just try to crank out as many units as possible from those 2 workgates, and then get that third nexus. And now he's starting to establish his infrastructures, getting 2 additional gateways. Let's see whether he's going to get the charge or blink upgrade from the Twilight Council. I mean, not blink. He already has blink, so get that charge upgrade ASAP anytime soon. Or is he just going to stay with the Colossus plus Sentry Blinker for now?
Yeah, I think he should be okay with just a blink and Colossus. This is not quite a large enough army that I think he really needs that charge. I think it looks like Byun is going to back out, so it looks like he will be free to, of course, get that charge upgrade. And You know what? I gotta say, I think that was a quite of a smart decision by Zest, because Byun, one of the scariest things about him is that he is really lethal in those timing attacks. And as you can see there, he was going for another timing attack, but after having you know, the Colossus and those blinks, you know, because he delayed, of course, his third, he has more army to defend, and that forced Byun to kind of retreat back home. And now Zest is free to just probe up and macro up and continue getting those upgrades.
Yeah, and you can see because of Byun's aggressive playstyle, once again he falls behind in terms of the upgrades, which is a rare occasion. You know, you rarely see Terran falling behind in terms of the upgrades against Protoss. Our great destruction of the pylon there to delay the charge upgrade, but if he's gonna lose all these units, I'm not sure if it's worth it at all. Even though he took down the Cybercore.
Yeah,
that was a big hit. But here comes another flank of the infantry, taking down 7 probes. He has to get out safely, and he can. Okay, at least he compensated for the initial loss of his infantries with that 7 probe snipe right there.
Yeah, but he's gotta be careful.
Oh, never mind. Take that back. Man, Zest and Byun both trying to make me eat my words like all day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need dinner for it then. And Zest is trying to expand vertically, taking that 7 o'clock base. Probably another adjustment to Byun's aggressive style. Instead of taking that pocket base as the fort, which is more conventional than taking the fort base in a vertical fashion. I think he's trying to, you know, narrow down the width of the defense. You know, he doesn't want to cover a lot of ground as much as possible. So, in order to do so, maybe taking the vertical base would be a lot easier. And also, he has preserved all of his 3 Colossus, so it will be much easier for him to defend as well. And then that observer, being the money observer.
Oh my goodness.
Spotting Byun's infantry right on time.
Yeah, he has like observer everywhere. Jesus.
He's getting another one. And +3 weapon attack or weapons for Protoss ground unit has commenced. It's going to be a matter of time. Once again, the Protoss infantry going to shatter those of Terran due to the sheer upgrade advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be like +3 versus +2.
Yeah, I mean, oh, this is going to be brutal. And now, instead of going carriers, he shifted towards the blink DTs as well. He's getting the Shadow Strike right now. And Byun really has to make something out of it right now when he has the army supply advantage.
Yeah, because right now he's going for Ghost, which is not the greatest. I mean, it's decent against Colossus, but it's usually better against High Templars and Archons like that. But he's going for Colossus, and instead of going for Vikings, you know, he has those Ghosts, so his army is going to be just a tad bit weaker. But again, Ghosts are still pretty decent in terms of their EMP. But anyhow, here we go.
One hallucinated Archon soaking up a lot of damage, but Byun immediately, you know, goes away from target firing that Archon because once he's spotted with the scan. Oh, I'm not sure about this flank, Zest. I don't know why you had both of your armies split up into 2 factions. And there's only 2 Colossus left, and there goes the interference matrix. I think Byun just pounces on. If Byun can take down this 4th base, I think that's checkmate.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a mistake there by Zest. I think it was a good idea to go for the flank because, you know, the tanks, it does mitigate some of those tank splash damage, but he split it with Stalkers and Colossus, which is not the greatest. You want to have charge lot in either side, and unfortunately one side was...
Or DTs.
Yeah, DTs as well.
Yeah.
So
mixture of charge lot plus DTs would have been much more ideal And now he has to sack this fourth, and no, I mean, he has another Nexus up at the pocket base, but I don't know. He's down 32 army supply, almost 40. No, 45 now. I mean, even workers. I think Byun is in the cat driver seat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or catbird seat.
He's definitely in the driver's seat, and he just needs to drive it back all the way home. But he's gonna put up a fight, and I would love to see him like start mixing in some disruptors, because he needs some kind of comeback mechanic, and disruptors are great in terms of comebacking in terms of the supply.
Yeah, but Byun already wisely have a couple of liberators to zone out the disruptors as well, so I'm not sure if the disruptor is going to be that effective compared to the previous two games. We'll see, but you know, I'm not. I don't know. This looks very grim for the Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he can kind of finish up his upgrades, I mean, he'll still have like some sort of upgrade lead, but again, the supply does favor Byun, so who knows.
And also, he's not even mining gas at his fourth base right now, so he's going to be really gas deficient. That is being Zest. He really needs a lot of gas to, you know, crank out the disruptors that you mentioned, as well as the DTs and such. But you know, he hasn't been able to do so because he's not mining gas from the fourth base right now. And here comes the Doom drop, and you know, the lack of vision at the top side allowed the medevacs to freely unload the units, and now Byun just getting rid of those infrastructures one by one.
No.
And the Colossus goes down as well. And here comes the rest of the army to the fourth base. That Colossus is gonna go down too. I think Byun's got it.
Yeah, all the Colossus are dropping like flies. Even DTs are kind of too late, a little too late. This triangular base here looks
70 army supply different.
But all the production building at the home in the main base is under fire, and there's like really nothing that Zest has there to defend. He does warp in a couple of charge lots, but they're gonna be fighting into a choke area, and Byun's gonna go ahead and just kite away, gonna focus fire possibly on these pylons, but I'm gonna go ahead and first clean up the rest of the army. And oh boy, this is it.
Oh, 3 sentries. They're not gonna do not much. They ain't gonna get done much. Yep, and then the fourth base gone, even though the 7 o'clock base has been reestablished. Army supply 103 to 24. Yeah. Byun's not just in a catbird seat. He's driving at 100 miles per hour, and he's gonna take this one home once again. Yeah. Is this the new formula for Byun? 2-0, 2-2, followed by 3-2?
I think so. That seems to be the pattern, at least for today.
Right, the 7 o'clock base under siege. It's only a matter of time it goes down. Yep, GG.
Well played. The Byun takes it 3-2.